Self-recharge, baby.
My time coming, know it is, cause I didn't pray for it. I'm in a suit day and night, yeah, I done slaved for it. I never knew that if I rap, I could get paid for it. State to state, different cities with the gang touring. He ain't a beast, if he played, I had the gang storm him. It's on the love, if you my brother, we got the same story. Yeah, what you know about a kick, though? You wasn't with me, I was running.
Let me be quiet back there. Beautiful people, what's happening? It's your boy Smith, man. We coming again with public comment. You know how I do, man. My show. I'm proud to say, like, man, I think I'm about in my second year doing the podcast, but we've had different seasons within those 2 years, and I think I've shared a lot of information based on the formula that I created this upon, which is another conversation we can have another time. But now I'm proud to say that, like, this series, the summer series Black Women 2023, is just, man, gaining momentum. We have another fabulous guest joining us today. This one might go somewhere. Before, well, you hear her in the back. So before, we had my little cousin on, and so now we're going up to Annie. I'm gonna go all in. I invited my sister on, like real blood sister, like it's just me and her. This is mom and dad stuff, right? But the purpose of that, people, is just to let you know, like, super women, super Black women come in all shapes and sizes. We can't just think that is just people like Michelle Obama and all the Rosa Parks and wonderful Black women are in our lives every day, and we just have to acknowledge them and sensationalize them. But before we get to the bio and introducing my sister, again, public comment, you know how to find me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm out there. We're doing it. Always trying to provide some motivational, some educational, some information for you in a positive light. Okay, so with all of that said, I'm proud to kick this next episode off. And I want to just read again. We're going to talk about bios at some point in the time in this world, in this history. We got folks, get a bio together. So I tapped in with my sister. I'm like, yo, sis, send me a bio. She said, I don't have one. I said, okay. And then a couple minutes later, she sent me one. So I'm going to read the bio, but I'm going to indulge a little bit. So it's my sister, the beautiful Jane Wesley. She's a mom. She's a wife. She's a daughter. She's a granddaughter. She's an auntie. She's a cousin. She's a friend. And the crazy part about life is, like the person you marry kind of imitates your family members. So I could see where some of my wife's traits I see in my sister or vice versa. So Jane Wesley, business owner, over 30 years. That's 3 decades, sis.
Mm-hmm. I know.
She ran a business, childcare business, for 24 years. She's currently the owner and proprietor of So Shea Butter Boutique. She's a seamstress. That's a trade that's, man, we just don't talk about that enough. With all of the businesses that we want to do and getting that bag and, selling shirts and making hats, man, maybe we can get some young folks into this sewing game. She teaches sewing lessons to children. So there's a plug for you right there. Tap in with my sister. She's a member of 2 native tribes, Montauk and Nipmuc, which that makes me 2 people. 2 and 2 people is mad. It's mad. She's the second oldest granddaughter of 70 plus grandchildren. We might get into that. She holds an associate degree in human service management, mother of my nephews. She's the mother of 2 of my twin nephews, married for 27 years to my brother-in-law, who she's been knowing since their early childhood. And this one is amazing. Not to say that other ones aren't, but this kind of sheds light on why I'm doing this. She's the first African American to graduate from the city of Fairfield 101 Academy. Sis,
yeah.
Say what's up to the people, sis.
Hello, people.
Hello, people. That's so I might have to, my sisters. I'm the talkative one of the month.
Exactly.
So, I'm the talkative one of them. So y'all might kind of get to know me a little bit. Like, man, how y'all related? How you feeling today, sis? You looking beautiful.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm good. Okay. I'm sitting here trying to get through this heat.
Okay, okay.
Just
You gonna
chilling in my chair.
you gonna be all right.
I am. I
You're
am.
gonna be all right. I know I put you on the spot, but I want to thank you, sis, from the bottom of my heart for joining me today on my podcast.
Mhm,
If I'm gonna have a summer series documenting and highlighting and sensationalizing, Black women, then I definitely have to have you on. You played a large role in my life, and again, I just want to thank you for joining me today. Because without you, whoo, boy, this world be in trouble.
Ooh. Ooh, if they only knew.
If they only knew. Well, we won't talk about
Ooh.
that because we're here to talk about you.
Right, right.
So sis, welcome to the
Mhm.
show.
Thank you.
Um, these questions aren't going to be more than questions. He's going to just like kind of get to know it. You sharing
Mhm,
your life journey in this
mhm,
world and navigating, this world. So I just like for you to kind of just start and just go back to the beginning, like, what was childhood like growing up? What were some of those lessons you
mhm,
learned? How did you learn those lessons? Who were inspirational people?
mhm,
How did you, once you navigated adolescence and teenage years and
mhm,
how did
mhm.
they stay with you? How did you recollect and circle back? So just talk about that growing up and learning those life lessons and becoming the young lady that you eventually turned into be the woman you are today.
Mhm. Well, let me see. I come from a whole different era, a whole different era. So, of course, I was in Rhode Island, um, a neighbor, just South Providence. That's all I knew as a kid.
Right.
Um, Everybody's mother, they either worked or they didn't work. So you always had women around, um, taking care of all the kids, neighborhood kids. Uh, if you got smacked, everybody got smacked. It was that kind. I'm gonna tell your mother when she gets home. There
Right.
was always women around, but seeing those women, and the majority of them were African American women. When you look back on it, those were strong women
Mm.
because they had to endure a lot.
Oof.
Yes, yes, they had to endure a lot, and I seen them fight. I don't mean fist fight, but I did see a couple of that.
Hey now.
But oh yeah, and your
Hey
mother
now.
was one.
Hey, shout out,
Hey,
mom.
yeah, she was not to be played with. She
Ah.
didn't. They used to call her. They used to name her after some boxer, but
Mm,
what her fight was. Um, I came through the time of when, um, the ending of kind of like the civil rights
mhm,
movement. But
mhm,
so I honestly, in today's society, I'm glad I was born when I was born because I got to see the real fight, not of marching through the streets, which
mhm,
eh, they did, but I seen the real fight. I've experienced the real fight from, um, African American people who were thirsty,
mm,
who were
mm,
really fighting,
mm,
didn't have the tools that they had today.
mhm,
I was part of situations where my school was probably maybe 2 blocks away, and they took our school, and it was in the middle of our neighborhood. They took our school and they revamped it.
mm,
And what they did was they put all the new, all the new technology back then, all the model things that kids need to learn with. So then they call it a model city school.
okay.
So what they did was every kid that lived in the neighborhood, they bust us out to like schools across town. Every kid in the neighborhood was going to a different school, and they bust all
Mm,
white kids in
mhm, mhm,
because they wanted their kids to have that education, that hands-on, that science laboratory,
mm,
that, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
the math. They wanted them to have that. So we had to be bussed out in the winter, in the snow, standing there waiting for a bus. But our school was right there.
Right.
And I remember sitting in. People, they don't call them sit-ins now, but back then there was sit-ins where they
call them a riot now.
yeah, yeah, they done leveled up big time.
Yeah, they call it a riot now.
They call them riots. And I remember sitting in the Board of Education building with our parents, fighting and demanding why is our kids gonna be. So I experienced that. I've experienced when Martin Luther King got killed that day. I remember, so I was with our father, and then that's the first time I heard the word colored. We were sitting on the porch, and where we were right off the main street, kind of like what people in the Oakland area would know as like a East 14th Street, International Boulevard. We lived right, we could see it. And as soon as Martin Luther King was killed, they started rioting and burning stuff down. But our dad was sitting on a little like wooden crate. And I was standing there, and all of a sudden I watched him kind of like ease on into the hallway. And I couldn't figure out what he was doing. And so I asked him, why are you in the hallway? And he said, because they're going to pick up every colored man they can. And that stuck. I mean, I remember that just as clear as it was yesterday.
Right.
So these are the little, I don't know if you want to call them gems.
They ain't little.
Yeah. Why you have to hide? And that's the first time he said a colored man. But I knew, okay, so it must be all the black men in the neighborhood. They were just picking them up.
Right.
So it's those little things that nowadays you're not gonna experience that, but you experience things on a whole different level as far as gun violence and killing our youth.
So and I because everything you just said is fascinating to the point that we're at a point in time where I don't think a lot of young people even understand exactly what you just said, right? So now you see this, you exposed to it. I mean, what does that do to you? I mean, because you're saying you watching white kids come to your brand new school, and now you see your father, our father, introducing you to these words. I mean, as you get older, I'm sure you got to reflect on it. Like, okay,
you do.
You
do. It stays with you. It's what you witnessed.
Let me ask you this, sis. Folks, I'm gonna ask my sister something. Do you think that traumatized you? Do you think that's trauma? Like,
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. When you see your dad ease on into a hallway, and he says, "Well, they're gonna pick up
a proud black man." Black man. No, I'm serious.
No, but that yes, he was well known in our community. Our father was well known, not in a bad way, but in a way of he was one of what we consider strong black men. Didn't sit around do nothing, hard worker. He was very respected. So for him to have to belittle himself, to do that, it had to be, life changing. I mean, you remember that.
Yeah. And now as you get older, and now you start to navigate high school and early adulthood, I mean, where's your mindset now?
Can I really say?
Hey, it's your show. You say what you want or don't want to say.
It's this shit ain't changed.
There we go.
It ain't changed.
Yeah.
We can, and like my husband says, we can do all this technology. We can have AI. We can have all this crap, but we still can't get rid of racism.
Say that.
It's
all this modern technology,
don't
we
mean nothing.
don't mean that we still got
Don't mean
people that's
nothing,
going.
because racism is going to be there. It's going to stay. It ain't going nowhere. But you got to learn how to maneuver
Mhm.
yourself through the BS to
Absolutely.
get to where you want to go.
Hmm.
You have to learn that. It's funny because um, William, our son, he called us today, and the conversation he had with us about being in the military and knowing that once he enters a room, first thing people know is he's an African American. Everything else comes after that, but that's what comes first.
Say that
And
again, sis. Say that again, sis.
yeah, it does. When you walk out your door, you whether you're a female or you're a person of color, that follows you, and everything else. It doesn't matter if you're cute. It doesn't matter if you're wealthy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But your skin
Absolutely.
color shows up. And so the conversation we was having, he was. I was so proud of my son.
Say
I
that.
said, you know what?
Shout out, nephew.
You come a long ways from Popeyes, you know, and his I can see his maturity,
Hmm.
and he's moving up the ladder in the military, and like he said, the more I move up the ladder, the less I see people that look like me,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I was like, you are exactly right. So yeah, all that
So
hypnotizes you.
no, so now you get into early adulthood. Jane is set free to move to move about, to find out who Jane is. What was some of those moments like?
You know what? I was a risk taker. I was a risk taker. And when I look back at it, now that
It's
I'm,
a family thing, people.
it is, it is. And now that I have hindsight. You know,
Absolutely, we all do.
and the older you get, the more you reflect on your life. You're like, man, the Lord was with me. I don't know how
Mhm.
He got me out of
Right,
that one, but
right,
He was with me. But those
right.
are the experiences that I experienced. But I'm glad I was able to to get through them.
Yeah.
Plus, when you have parents that instill in you, look, you got good sense, you got common sense, you know how to make that decision.
Hmm. Hmm.
I feel sad for young kids who
Mm.
don't have that um, mentor or person that they can go to that can guide them, because
Hmm.
to me all parents are, they're your tour guides in life.
Say
They've
that.
been there.
Say that.
They've been there. It's like, I'm
Right.
not, whatever I tell my kids, whatever I tell your kids, I'm never gonna steer you in the wrong direction.
Hmm.
Yeah, you gotta bump your head,
Hmm.
but
Absolutely.
you know,
It's
I'm
so it sounds like you had expectations. It sounds like you had expectations other than, you know, just run amok and figure it out on your own. You
oh
know,
yeah,
yeah, it was
yeah,
expectations,
yeah.
right?
I had expectations of myself. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew what I wanted to do, but it was, how can I say it? It was kind of hard getting there, because
Hmm.
even though our parents, they did the best they could,
Hmm.
but there was a lot of things that I didn't know. I
Right.
I did not know there were black colleges.
Hmm.
Didn't know it.
Well, we still have kids that don't know that, so
That is terrible.
it is. It is.
I didn't know about black colleges until School Days movie came.
Hey, you ain't the only one. I'm sure there was a
Like
many million
a
more.
black college? What?
Right.
And then again, hindsight. It's
Mm.
like, man, had I known, I probably would have went that route, but I wasn't in that environment.
Mhm. Mhm.
We were in
Mhm.
an environment where, look, what we eating Friday? We got enough money to make it to
Right. Real. I mean, but again, I mean, I think that speaks more than just the household. I think it probably speaks for a community at
Oh
large. Like,
yeah.
we need to worry about the lights being on and getting through this week.
Yeah.
Whatever else you find on your own, more power to you. Uh,
Exactly. Exactly.
and so with that being said, sis, like, how did you end up eventually becoming this businesswoman, this entrepreneur, if you will, for all of these years? I mean, how did you, you said you knew what you wanted to do, but then how did
Mhm.
how did this young lady end up, oh, I'm a businesswoman now. Let me jump into this business world game.
I I think I think that's where our father's trait came in and said, bullshit with this.
Yeah.
Um, I could do it. I could
Hmm.
do this. You know, I a business owner, me, I never seen it coming. But then my eyes got open and I was like, I can do this. I can do this. And after 24 years, and you have daycare kids who are now adults
Hmm.
still calling you,
Hmm.
still running up to you on the street, Miss Janet, that type of thing.
Hmm.
I felt as though my job was done right. I did it right.
Absolutely.
I was um, um, a good mentor
Hmm.
for the kids
Hmm.
that I counted them over the years that I did daycare. I did 100 kids.
Wow.
I did 100 kids,
Wow.
and I feel very proud of that
All
because
three of mine, people. All three of mine.
yeah,
You know, the I really, because it's childcare and because that's kind of where I'm at and helping young folks, and this is the
hmm
reason I'm doing this, to make sure that young people know, young parents, who are entering into this daycare world that
hmm
is the financial burden that it is. I mean,
it
what's
is.
some advice that you could give young parents who are entering into the daycare arena?
With their own kids or as
Absolutely, with their kids.
well, number one, I think daycare is fantastic for kids,
Hmm.
and to me, the earlier the better.
Hmm.
Because they're around other kids, that whole thing. I think, instead of being latched on to their parents, and don't get me wrong, I know parents got a bond, and
Hmm.
I get that. But the sooner you get them into daycare, I think the faster they learn,
Mm.
because they're being stimulated. They're
Right.
around other kids. And with the things that they have out today, technology and all that, it you know I wasn't one to stick a tablet in front of a kid and let you
Mm.
be on. No, no,
Mhm.
we can't have that.
That's not what we're doing.
We're hands on.
Yeah, yeah. Go
We
outside and dig a ditch.
oh, let me tell you, I
Yeah,
think my daycare kids have went to every park in the city of Fairfield,
there you
because
go.
it's like, we're not sitting here, we're not being in this house, we're not.
Right.
You ain't sitting in front of a TV. It's summer. We are going to the park. I don't care. We just lay on a blanket
Hmm.
and look up at the trees and the sun and hear the city and hear those things. But that's what we're gonna do.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
And then with that, I think that's great information, right? Like, get them in daycare early so they can grow around
be
people instead of a
stimulated.
TV.
Yeah.
Right. Be stimulated. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Black folks. Black folks, listen to me. Stop asking for discounts because your family does daycare. It's a job, right, sis? It's a business. You run the
Oh,
business.
it's a business.
It's
It's
a
a job.
business.
You don't ask Macy's for 2 for 1. I mean, they might do it, but
Right, right.
their volume. But
Hmm.
a daycare provider, she just or they don't just get the money.
Hmm.
You have insurance. You gotta pay everything that a parent is paying in their house. A daycare provider is paying in their house.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know
Hmm.
that it's the same thing, and
Hmm.
and plus you are letting us care for your most precious commodity in your
Absolutely.
life. You are
Absolutely.
trusting us.
Absolutely.
So if you are trusting us, and we're going to give you, at least I hope so,
Hmm.
most of them out there,
Hmm.
is going to care for your child, why would you ask for a discount?
Right.
You don't ask for, I mean, yeah, people ask for discounts all the time, but there's just some things you don't ask for discount. That's your kid.
Absolutely. You want the best. If that's your
Exactly.
child, you want the best. So you might as well invest in it properly.
Invest and know that discount. Let me tell you one little hint.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
You're looking for daycare. First thing you want to ask, let me use your bathroom. Let me use your bathroom. Because your bathroom is going to tell me how you are as a parent. Don't get me wrong. If kids are using your bathroom all day, I know it's going to get dirty.
Right.
But at the same time, there's other things that you can look at in the bathroom.
See? Folks, y'all better listen.
You better use that bathroom.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, but
well, no, that's not stupid. That's when if you don't know as a new parent, now I got my children are grown. I got a grandson.
That's right.
Because of my kids going to your daycare, it never even dawned on me to look in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, even we can all learn something.
Exactly.
Young people, you just got some free game on, Don't worry about how the people look. Check their bathroom.
Check their bathroom out. See, I'm like this. If someone says, "Hey, my kids is going to, I'm thinking about certain daycares," I'll go with you because I know what to look for. I know what to look for. I know to see if that vanilla extract is in the cabinet when licensing comes in. It's not supposed to be in the cabinet or free access. The knife is supposed to be way up on top of the refrigerator, even if it's a butter knife, and not in the regular cabinet drawers. There's little things. The Ajax ain't supposed to be under the sink. It's supposed to be locked. There's little things like that you gotta watch out for. And some people might take it as, damn, she being nosy. Well, yeah, this is my kid coming here.
Right. Yeah, I think I got the right to be nosy.
Exactly, because my kid is in your house. Yeah, I'm gonna be nosy.
Boy, on my show, you learn some things, people. Don't sleep on my show. You just got some free game. So with that, thanks, parents, that was for you. That was free.
That was free.
Future entrepreneurs of daycare. What's one of the biggest challenges or myths about providing daycare, sis?
The biggest challenge is if you can have a good relationship with a parent, it's going to go a little smooth. You know what I'm saying? If you have a challenging parent, see, all money ain't good money.
Say that.
All money ain't good money. If and what I used to do is, okay, we're gonna test this for 2 weeks. And I tell them we're gonna test this for 2 weeks because you might not like my services. And I might not like your kid.
Real talk.
Yeah, I might not be able to handle them. I might need to. They might need to be in a smaller environment because you got to realize I had a large daycare. So if and some kids need more attention than others, So you got to pick what kind of, what age you're going to deal with. What do you?
My sister is being extremely politically correct and polite right now with the words she was using. I just wanted to say that.
Hey, I don't like your kid. It's best they don't come. And I did that to one person out of all the years. I was like, no.
Yeah. No. Not here, buddy. Not here.
No, I ain't going to jail for nobody's children.
Right. Because again, at the end of the day, it's a business, and I got to make sure that I stay in business.
Exactly. It's a business. So if you can have at least a good rapport with a family, that makes it just a whole lot easier. Another challenge is, believe it or not, is children's nutrition. Children's nutrition.
Okay.
I can spot when my daycare kids was all eating. I can spot what kids ate good meals at home. Not good meals, but they had good eating habits, and I could tell what kids junk foods and fast foods, stuff like that. And there's some parents who is like, yeah, I know they're there, but if they want all that junky stuff, you know what I'm saying? Well, no, that's not what we do here. We having some spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah.
Look, my kids want to make gumbo. They let me say, you gonna make some gumbo? Those kind.
Hey, I know I used to walk in. My sister used to have like steak and potatoes and shrimp. I'm
Kids
like,
gotta
yeah,
eat. They gotta learn
yeah,
good eating habits.
yeah.
Not go McDonald's
And so
and
I think like what I took out of that, the folks, if you listen and closely and paying attention, one of the things about being a businesswoman, especially in the childcare industry, is all money ain't good money. Basically, we talk about the bag.
right.
Everything in that bag ain't what you want.
Mm-mm.
So young people, when you start your own business, understand there's some things you got to say no to.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you see that bag in front of you, you have to do your diligence and
Exactly.
and do it right. No, that's phenomenal information. I says thank you, because I mean, like, I learned a lot right there just in that little bit of things I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
And the service that you provided, I think is phenomenal. Again, I'm sure my kids would approve of it. And so I mean, we 30 minutes in and we still, you
Mm.
know, yeah. The so I wanna take that. I want to take your experiences of that, and then your business, right?
Mhm.
And talk about being a mom. Talk about being a
Ooh.
mom, because now you done went through it. You hit the journey, businesswoman, all of this. Now you're a mom. Like, what is a mom like?
Ooh. Ooh. Huh.
What
Well,
is a black mom specifically?
oh,
Because you got two boys.
oh yeah.
What is a mom, black mom? What is that, sis? Talk about that. Now, again, like I tell the other ladies I was on here, I don't want to, like the pity party. Oh, it's tough. I want the love, the wonderful stories. We all know it's trying. I'm not a woman, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
you can
yeah.
speak on that as well. But like, really talk about being a black mom.
For one thing, you're a proud mom.
Say that.
You're a proud, regardless, you are a proud mom, and you will go. You don't play. Not with your kids. Well, you don't play with them anyway. But
Mhm.
when it comes to other people, messing with your kids, knowing that if you know your kid, one thing about a black woman is if we know our kids did something wrong, we're gonna address it.
Correct.
We ain't gonna hide it under the rug as no, that's my little Travy. He ain't no, yeah, that's my kid.
Gravy. That's the kind of show I got, people. She didn't say Bobby. She didn't say Jimmy. She didn't say Chad. She said Travy.
Travy,
That's what we
you
name
know,
our kids.
but we're gonna go above and beyond, and we're gonna fight for our kids, especially our boys.
Hmm.
We know that every time they walk out that door, we gotta pray and hope that they come back in, or whatever door they're at. And it's even not worse, but it is worse when they're not under the same roof as you, because now you got to pray even more that wherever they are making it back safe to wherever it is they're staying.
Hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We had to give our kids that talk, with driving, with even when William came home. He's 23. When he just came, my son surprised me. This is what a black boy would do for his mom. He drove 16 hours. I didn't even know this. He just drove 16 hours to surprise me and to hug me.
Hmm.
And I had no idea. However, when he was home, he was playing his music real, real loud. And yeah, so we had to tell him, his dad had to talk to him, look, you don't want to bring no, and it's sad, you don't want to bring no attention to you,
Hmm.
and it's sad that our sons have to abide by certain things just so they can maneuver through the day. Does that make sense?
The
They
invisible laws that only we know about.
exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
They have to maneuver through, they got to do certain things. They can't do certain things because they don't want to be the next statistic.
Hmm.
And as a mom, that is my worst fear, is
Right.
getting that phone call. Mom. If I hear mom from their voice, I'm like, okay. But if I hear some detective or somebody saying, is this the parent of, that takes me to a whole different level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I think as a Black mom, we have we hold our kids to the highest
Mm,
because we have to worry about them the most.
mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
hate to say it, but white parents don't have to worry about their kids the most when they go out the door. It is
Right.
no big shits, none at all.
That's right.
So we have to endure more, even for your sons. Your sons are like my sons.
Absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
some goes down, look, as old as I am, oh, I'm coming,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's family.
You know,
That's our unit.
no, absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that, and I appreciate that, Um, and again, just being a Black mom, like, you know, talk about like some of the celebrations, the joyfulness, like, how like your heart is moved just by seeing them smile, I mean, because I know it's there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now my kids were adopted. I put that out there,
Means
and
nothing. They
means
still
absolutely
means
nothing, because
nothing.
they look and act like us. You would think that I couldn't love them more if I gave birth to them myself.
Say that.
So but going back to during that time when we was going through that process, and my son, he loves for me to tell the same story over and over, because we were sent to a picnic to walk to look at the kids that were available. I kind of didn't like it because it's like they're not freaking cattle,
Right, right,
they're
right.
kids.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I understand you want they to interact with the kids and everything. But anyway, we went, and somebody bring our sons there, because they felt me and Wes was going to be a good fit. The kids didn't know they were there for that. They were just playing. So as Sir walked past me, I was sitting at a picnic table by myself. And as Sir walked past me, never seen this kid in my life. He walked right past me. I said, "That's my son right there."
Hmm.
Not even knowing he was going to be my son one day. So he likes for me to tell that
Beautiful.
story. you know he likes for me to tell that story. um I'm proud of my kids because of the challenges they had to go through, and they went through some challenges,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they were labeled,
Hmm.
and they were set up not to progress in life. They were set up not to succeed in life. They were set up to just be aged out of the system,
Hmm.
and just whatever happened to them happened to them. But me and my husband, when they handed us their files, the things that were in their files, some people would cringe and be like, "Nah,
Hmm.
I can't do that." So we were like, you know what? As a person, I wouldn't want no one to judge me by a file, because I'm more than a file.
Wow.
So we handed the file back to them and said, "No, we're moving forward with these two."
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's what we did. Yeah, it wasn't easy, but it was, now that with hindsight, we look at it and it was like some of the things that was going on was funny.
Right, right,
It
right.
was funny, and we can laugh about it now.
Right, right.
You
I
know,
mean that's just I think that is the parent trait. Like you could laugh because at the time some of the things going down, like, bro, I'll break your neck. You
exactly. But and then one of them had nerve enough. We was having a disagreement. And, when you're under 18 and you're in the system,
Ooh.
they all have a lawyer.
Mhm.
They all have a lawyer. And he sat there, and he was in trouble with something. And he goes, "Well, I think I want to see my lawyer."
Yeah.
I said, "What?"
I hope my brother-in-law showed him the lawyer.
He sat there, he goes, "I think I want to see my lawyer."
Yeah,
But
okay.
now we sit back and we laugh about
Right,
that.
Right.
Remember you want to see your lawyer? Boy, I give you a
And,
lawyer.
and I think, thank you for sharing that story. I think that's powerful. Like, you know, I think as humans, we're trained and we're conditioned to believe that, the only way you can have children or be related to them is through childbirth,
No.
or the process. But for you to say that speaks volumes about being a mom, just about that connection that was already there. I say this all the time, like, we on a journey that was already put in front of us. We just traveling the road. Everything else is in place. And
Exactly.
that relationship was supposed to happen just the way
Exactly.
it is,
And
and the way
I
it's
mean,
first.
you helped raise my kids,
Hey, that's my
you
nephews. I
know,
love them.
and the thing about that is and I'll put this out there. Adoption, if you can do it, that is the most biggest service you can do,
Hmm.
is to take on another child, a child
Absolutely.
you don't even know, a child who's coming with so much baggage you probably may have never experienced, but you're willing to go that mile with that child just to make them and hope that they become a productive adult in this world.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
adoption is so important,
Absolutely.
especially in the Black community, especially in the brown community.
I will say this. I think because of the way this country has been formatted, and it's just some of the things that transpired over the centuries. There's just this ugly stigma with adoption. But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, if you have a heart,
Mhm.
sis, like you and my brother-in-law do, love is love, and children
It
are
sure
children.
is. Yep.
It's just something on a different level. So no, thank you for sharing that. That's powerful, and I hope y'all took a lesson from that. Um, as we wrap up, sis, and again, thank you for spending some time with me. Um,
Mhm.
I just want you to talk about, just really quick, or however long you think
Mhm.
you need to get this out. Just being a black woman, just being a black woman on this earth, where you came from, your journey, where you are today, just being a black woman, and its greatness and its awesomeness, and how just absolutely being a black woman is just that.
It's just that.
Say that.
And they want to be like us, but they can't. And I think the
My
problem,
sister said that, y'all, not me. My sister
they
said that.
can't.
Yeah.
You can't hold nothing to a Black woman in all ways, in all, I don't care, in her mind, in her spirit, in her body. No one has a swag like a Black woman.
Woo, say that.
Nobody.
Say
I
that.
don't care what shape she is. I don't care. You just you can't emulate her. You can't. She is who she is,
Hmm.
and she's strong. And I think that comes from the line, the bloodline from way back. It's a
Hmm.
bloodline. It's a spiritual bloodline.
Hmm.
You can't touch a spiritual bloodline. It doesn't matter. You like, even from slavery to now, people say, "Oh, you should get over that." No, 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 no. You don't understand because you don't feel it.
Mm.
That's why I say spiritual bloodline is, it can come back from the beginning of time of Black people to now. You got to
Hmm.
feel it. And
Mm.
there's a lot of Black people who feel it, even though they never experienced slavery, they never experienced Jim Crow, but they feel the struggle.
Hmm.
They feel the everything that our ancestors had to go through.
Mm.
You can't touch that. That's why when people say to me, "Oh well, that you need to get a," no, goddamn it, no, I don't want to. Shit, I don't want to get over it because that keeps me grounded. That keeps me
Mm.
pushing. That keeps
Mm.
me going, and that's how I feel about that.
Love it, sis.
Mhm.
I think you the only guest to just drop cuss words like that, but
Oh,
it's awesome. No, it's cool. I love it. I mean,
you
that's
know what? I was
authentic.
gonna ask you, can I cuss or not?
Say
But
what it's all good. Don't worry about it. If they don't like it, turn it off. I don't care.
hey, hey,
It sounds like being a black woman is an innate thing. Like, you have to know it to know it. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
phenomenal. I
Woo!
mean,
My sister said y'all phenomenal.
think about it. Think about it. Back in the day, when women, and I keep going back to slavery because they were the those women were the foundation,
Mm,
and what they had to endure and what they had to see. They
mm,
are they we are the remnants. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? So for a woman to have to go and clean something and come home and her kids were sold,
mm,
for her never to see them again
mm.
without permission, you who can endure that?
Yes, sir.
But
Yes.
a black woman had to endure that. So that's the strength that I say along the bloodline, the spiritual bloodline, is why black women are phenomenal like they are today.
Mm,
And
mm,
some of these young women may not get it, they may
mm,
not understand it, but it's in them. They just gotta tune into it. And when they take that, that's gonna push them into doing whatever it is they set their mind up doing, because they got the ancestors on their back pushing them.
mm, mm, mm. Sis,
Okay.
I think that's the deepest conversation we've ever had. That
Yay.
hey, that is absolutely incredible. Um, I would just like to add one antidote just because I'm your little brother. And you know this, I know you do. I just, in the conversation, we didn't start with slavery. You know what I'm saying? We the
No.
first people that have been on this
Oh
earth. You know
no.
what I'm saying?
No.
But I see what the endurance of
The
understanding that
endurance.
part of our existence is valuable.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
We were kings, we were queens, but then we had to go through that.
this exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that says everything you're saying. Like, there's some things we're gonna have to go through
Exactly.
individually, but
Right.
then as a community as well, as a people, to
Yeah.
get to where we need to
Exactly.
be.
Just
Yeah.
like my husband said, and he makes sense. When we see each other, we should be saying king and queen. You know, those are the titles that we should be using, because
Absolutely.
that's where we came from. But yeah, we did have to deal with the slave. We did have to deal with that, but we dealt with it, and we're still here. Just like Native Americans, we're still here. They tried to say we now, between our tribes they say we don't exist. Well, I'm here, I'm a living proof of a bloodline of a Native Americans, and we don't
Yeah.
even say Native Americans, we say native, because we were natives before America was even native.
y'all just
Don't
get
get me started.
y'all just my sister said we dealt with it. Like, what? What?
Yeah,
We dealt with it.
we
That
dealt with
that's
it.
that's sis. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
I needed that energy not only for the show, but just for today as well. That was powerful. That right there, that right there sealed my day. Before we go, I want you to tell your 16-year-old
Ooh,
self something.
my 16-year-old girl, and I'm gonna be honest, some of the things my 16-year-old self was doing, some of the things is like, no, you know better.
Mm,
But then at the same time, it's like, yeah, you blossoming.
mm-hmm,
You're
mm-hmm,
gonna be all right.
mm-hmm,
You're gonna be fine. You doing okay. Just
mm-hmm.
keep going.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit some roadblocks. You're gonna dibble dabble. But you're gonna be
Dibble dabble.
fine. And look at that. Look at me, 65.
Look at you, sis. Look at you.
God is good.
Well, hey, I'm sure your 16-year-old self would appreciate those words of wisdom.
Oh, yes, she would have.
Right.
She would
Uh,
have. Yes,
right.
she would.
Sis,
Yes.
where can the folks find your business if you want to share it?
I am at Solano Shea Butter Boutique. It is at 750 Texas Street, downtown Fairfield. Telephone number 707-975-7675. And I sell unrefined shea butter. I sell body butters. I sell African soap. I don't get my African soap from down the street. My African soap comes from Ghana. I strictly deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
My stuff that I make, body butters, I make it by hand in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no preservatives, there's no synthetics, there's nothing. So people, and I custom make them. to
Mhm.
however a person wants it. As far as seamstress, I am a seamstress. I do alterations. I do sewing lessons. I love teaching children the fundamentals of sewing because it can take them to places they hadn't even thought about going, especially if they're into fashion, especially little Black girls. I've taught them, and I could see the smiles on their face, like, look what I made. Yeah, look what you made. And I always tell them, I give them a book, and I say, what? Look in that book. What do you want to make? I
Mhm.
want to make this. Okay, well, I'm going to get you to the point where you can make that. And then I'm going to show you how you can make money from making that.
Mhm.
So it's a skill, it's a lost skill. Some people may think it's, oh, old fashioned. No, no, because all the clothes you wearing and you paying big bucks for, you can make it for yourself. There you go.
Hey, folks, what's that saying? You could teach someone to fish, or you can show them how to fish, or you can fish
There you
for
go.
them. Hey,
Exactly.
young ladies, go learn that game. It's going
That's
it's going
right.
it's free. It's a free bag, so to speak. Sis,
Yes.
thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. You know I love you. I adore
I
you.
love you too.
I have
Yes.
nothing but high praise for you. Thank you for everything you've done, not just in my life, but my family's life, my brother-in-law's life, my niece's life, my nephew's life, our multiple number of cousins' lives.
Ooh,
You're a phenomenal patriarch of this family.
thank you.
You are outstanding role model. Your beauty, your brains, your just your heart, your open heart, is unparalleled in this family structure and this dynamic. I'm proud to call you my sister, and I
Mhm.
love you till there's no more love available in the atmosphere of this world, sis.
Hey, we share the same womb, just me and you.
Yeah,
And
say that part, say that
ain't
part.
nobody else but me and you share that. No one else has.
That's it. That thank you, sis.
I love you too.
Hey, thank you for allowing me to share that.
Rent free.
Folks, that was the show today. Public comment. My wonderful guest is my beautiful, my only sister, my only sibling, the beautiful Jane Wesley. It's public comment is how we do. It is the summer series Black Women 2023, highlighting and sensationalizing the wonderful Black women that are currently here on this planet doing phenomenal things just in their everyday life, just making a difference and paving the way and handing the torch off, so to speak, to our younger folks. That's going to be it for today. Please share this with your loved ones. It was insightful. It was valuable. It was inspirational. Hopefully, it was some historic information in there as
Hope so.
well for you people. You know where to find me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And like I always say, have a conversation with someone that don't look like you. You
Exactly.
might learn something if you shut up and be quiet. Beautiful
Hmm.
Black people. Until next time, you know I love you.
I love
Shout out Bird.